Hey, this is Andrew Kooman. Did you know that you can now listen to The 49 on Unveil TV? Unveil TV is a place where you can watch what inspires you, like the Breath of Life series featuring innovators like Dallas Jenkins, or you can also check out She Has a Name, the film based on my popular stage play. There's other great documentaries and films, and now you can listen to The 49 there as well. Go to unveiltv.com today and get your free trial. That's unveiltv.com. Thanks for listening. Now here's the latest episode of The 49.
49. The last president inaugurated in the United States. The span of terrible days after the global comms blackout when the world was reshaped. The number of strange supernatural phenomena that appear around the globe. You're listening to The 49, the new series by Andrew Kooman. Get the content right in your inbox when you subscribe at the49.substack.com. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Welcome to the world of The 49.
The man signaled at Boyer, "Get out of the vehicle." "The door is jammed. I can't get out," she said. She knew he couldn't hear her, but he got the gist. Over the intercom, she heard the woman's voice from the 49th between pops of static. "Remain. Convoy. Do not. The vehicle. We. Not. You protection if. Leave." Someone was trying to jam their comms. With the drones down, it was possible. "You call this protection?" Boyer asked. "Do you see the masked gunmen with AR-15s? They're trained on me." A group of about a dozen insurgents nabbed the drones. They used some sort of net. She couldn't be sure what headquarters heard, or if it was just her signal that was disrupted. She tried to convey as much intel as she could. "Body armor." The woman's voice returned. Through static, Boyer heard. "Locator." The man on the other side of the glass signaled for her to step back. The other placed a rectangular pack on the door handle. The first man yelled at her again and signaled for her to move. Boyer jumped back and ducked behind a seat bench as the small explosive device detonated. The cab rocked and more glass shattered. The door blew back on its hinge, leaving a crack wide enough for the man to gain purchase. He started to pull at it. His accomplice joined and they found a rhythm, heaving at it in the same motion. Their four hands pried it off its hinge. "Exit the vehicle." The man's voice was calm, but muffled by the mask. Boyer didn't move. "This is a supplier envoy, a peace offering," Boyer said, raising her arms instinctively. The barrels of both guns were leveled at her chest. "Nothing from behind that wall is peaceful," the second masked man said. Suddenly, the unmistakable sound of drones could be heard in the distance. The men looked to the trees and signaled to the group who had netted the crashed drones. "Start to move." They responded quickly, hauling the grounded machines in pairs, then started to disappear into the trees. "We gotta fly Joyride," the leader of the duo said. He took Boyer by the arm and pulled her through the crumpled door. "Grab those guns," he said to his partner. "They're bio-coded weapons," Boyer said, pulling her arm out of his grip. "They'll be no use." The drones were supposed to be untouchable, too. Joyride pushed past Boyer and entered the cab. He grabbed the rifles. He swung them over his shoulder by the straps, then stepped further inside the EV. "Hey, come on. These drones will be here in less than a minute." "Take her. I'll see what I can salvage." Without another word, the man grabbed her arm again and they started to move, pulling Boyer with him toward the trees. "Get your hands off me," she said, and ripped her arm from his grip again. "I'll walk," she said. "You've got a rifle. I'm unarmed. I don't want to get shot today." He could see she meant it and wasn't afraid. "She's a spicy one. Foxtrot," Joyride said from somewhere in the EV. The man looked up at the sky. The swarm of drones was closer. "Start running. There's a tunnel at the edge of the trees." He pointed the way with the barrel of his rifle. "No funny business." Boyer nodded acknowledgement. "None." They both started to jog. Joyride yelled over his shoulder, "Get moving, bro. You've got 30. The hum of the drones was loud now in the treetops. The otherworldly tone, its pitch higher and louder than a swarm of bees, put her on edge. It was a sound people had learned to live with since the corridor security state became a reality. In the same way as a kid, Boyer could guess how close the train was to town by the sound of its long, mournful horn in the night. So too could she and anyone else inside or outside the walls gauge the distance of a drone. Up ahead was a round shrub of wild roses. As they approached the distinct pink provincial flower, she felt the man's hand on the base of her head. He was pushing her down. They were on their knees now, crawling into a small hole set into the bank. "It's a tight opening, but it widens after about 20 feet, he said, almost shouting. The hum of the drones was overbearing. Now they were overhead. Go, go, go. Boyer went first and scrambled. A strap of her body armor caught on something and Foxtrot slammed into her from behind. Keep moving. I'm stuck, she said through clenched teeth. She felt his arm on her side, her shoulder. He found the snag and yanked. Boyer screamed in pain as her shoulder popped out of joint. But she was unstuck and could move. They scrambled for a few more feet, then both stopped at the sound of gunfire outside. It echoed within the confines of the small, dark tunnel. Hundreds of rounds of lethal shrapnel unloaded in a matter of seconds. Foxtrot looked over his shoulder, held his breath. Silence mixed with the acrid smell of burnt chemicals and sulfur filled the small chamber. Suddenly, the little tunnel got even more crowded as Joyride somersaulted into the space, hooting and swearing and laughing all at once. You fool. I thought for sure you were dead, said Foxtrot. He turned and bumped his friend on the fist. Takes more than 10 armed drones to kill this Joyride, was the response. But can we get moving? I have claustrophobia already. Boyer started to move again. Her shoulder pulsed with pain with every motion. Up ahead, she could see faint, warm light. They were in a wide chamber now, lit by a naked LED bulb plugged into an extension cord that was duct taped to a flat rock wall. Was it worth it? Foxtrot asked when they stopped moving once they were all out of the tight tunnel. You bet, baby, Joyride said as he stood and stretched. 2 AR-15, 6 protein bars, 4 bottles of water, a first aid kit. He paused as he reached into the side pocket on his cargo pants to reveal the real prize. And some lip chap. That's mine, Boyer said without thinking, surprised at how important the lip balm seemed to her in the moment. Foxtrot took it out of Joyride's hand and passed the little tube to her. There's a battery pack, too. Joyride held them up and Foxtrot whistled. 2. They look rechargeable. Worth risking your life for? To Boyer, Foxtrot sounded angry. What do you mean, was it worth it? I'd do it again for the protein bars alone. Joyride pulled off his mask as she said it, and Boyer couldn't hide her surprise. A kid no older than 16 with a dumb grin appeared from behind the mask. He was missing a tooth, his right canine. What are you, 12? She asked. His grin disappeared. Older than this guy, he said. He threw a water bottle at Foxtrot, by about 7 minutes. Foxtrot pulled off his mask, and Boyer did a double take. Clones? She asked, staring at Joyride now. The similarity was uncanny. She stared at his exact replica. He smiled now. A full set of teeth. In the olden days, they called us twins. We're all natural, ma'am. Ma'am? She asked, more surprised than offended. We respect our elders out here. By kidnapping them at gunpoint and destroying their envoy. I'd hate to see you disrespect me. Sorry about that. We thought it was droid only, but turns out there were no droids at all, which sucks. Well, it was a fool's mission to attack. They'll hunt you down, with the full power of the corridor against you. Are you someone important? Joyride asked. He took a bite of a protein bar. I'm no one, but they'll still send the muscle to get you. They'll be coming after from land and sky just to make an example of you. The games around this will be historic. Boyer winced in pain. They'll send some Fidos soon. You better get moving. Foxtrot grabbed the first aid kit, unzipped it, and rifled through the contents. There's like a year's supply of meds in here, he whispered. He found a small roll of stickers and pulled one off. Let me see that shoulder. Boyer unzipped her Kevlar jacket and winced as she pulled her shirt down to expose her shoulder. Foxtrot pulled off a round sticker and gently placed it above her bicep. When it stuck to her skin, LED light appeared. Awesome. I saw these on YouTube. The Israeli military developed them for medics in the field. Joyride. Check this. Joyride walked over and Foxtrot handed him a booklet that was in the kit. What does the field guy say for a dislocated shoulder for a female in her late 30s? Are you kidding me? Boyer said through clenched teeth, the pain overcoming her. Give me a 5.5. That should knock out the pain, but keep me lucid. Foxtrot swiped his finger along the LED until 5.5 bars appeared. 5.5, he said out loud. Boyer looked over her shoulder at him when he hesitated. It's double tap, then you're done. Foxtrot complied. When he did, a wave of a release instantly rolled through Boyer's body, starting at her shoulder, then down through her arm to her fingers. A shock of electricity then jumped from her shoulder up her neck, and she had to shut her eyes. It was like she got hit in the face with a warm snowball, warm shards of icy glass puncturing her cheekbones from the inside, then melting against her skin, like strong fingers massaged her temples, neck, cheek. She took a breath. She couldn't help but smile and let out an audible sigh. Are you Mossad or something? Joyride asked. Boyer laughed at this. No, I told you, I'm no one. But I was a frontline support for refugees entering New Eden, so I'm trusted, or at least tolerated by the governor. The brothers looked at each other. Their swagger suddenly snatched, like an EMP just hit their megawatt smiles. Yeah, you guys really messed up. Now you have the corridor and the falls after you.
Thanks for listening to this portion of The 49 by Andrew Kooman. New content drops for paid subscribers every Monday at the49.substack.com. That's the49.substack.com. On Tuesdays, we release new audio on all your favorite podcast platforms. If you like what you're hearing, make sure you subscribe and to share it with a friend. Thanks for listening to The 49.